Colleagues have really created a huge fuss in the media about me. I mean, this is just a small example. Satan loves Graham Hancock the most.
Try and hit me, Napoleon.
What?
I said come down here and see what happens if you try and hit me.
So you're the one that's actually given me this media platform. I do not go to these journalists at all.
That's
They
simply not true.
contact me, and then,
Which is great, because
Sorry if I'm being direct, Flint, but you do recently appear to have set yourself up as a sort of modern inquisition to investigate and test whether output actually fits into what is regarded as acceptable thought.
a lot of my media influence has to do with you announcing this conversation. The media rarely ever got in touch with me about you until you announced this conversation over a year ago. And then since then, I've had plentiful journalists get in touch with me to comment on things related to your show.
Jeez.
okay, so that looks crazy man-made. That last image, though, go back to that last one. That's crazy.
Let me see what your best move is.
It strikes me as unbelievable that we have so many thousands of sites that show coastal interactions at the end of the Ice Age from these hunter-gatherers, but we have no evidence of a lost advanced civilization. That strikes me as, maybe this doesn't disprove it, but it makes it very, very hard to swallow.
So this one is fascinating. Look at that one. That doesn't intrigue you?
Are there any artifacts from the Bimini Road? Because I've excavated road surfaces and I found lots of artifacts.
As an artifact.
Jeez.
Right, but
Things look cool, I get that, but it's like a question of how do we tell the difference between man-made and natural. My questions for Graham is, if this is a global civilization with ships, why is it that we don't have shipwrecks from this global civilization? I see this as a big, big problem. If we're looking for a civilization that's traversing the oceans, we should find these shipwrecks.
Let me see what your best move is.
Than 5% of the continental shelves that have been studied at all by archaeology. I'm not surprised that we find hunter-gatherer traces underwater. I'm very glad that we do. I would be very surprised if we didn't. But what I'm saying is that not enough of that 27 million square kilometers has been investigated. Only a tiny fraction has been investigated. And that fraction is not enough to draw the conclusion that we can absolutely say there was no lost civilization. Same goes for the Amazon rainforest. Same goes for the Sahara.
Jeez.
I need a volunteer.
Wait, they have one sentence. They say, on top of this buried, decayed rock mass, a unique stone artifact resembling a traditional Sundanese dagger called Kujang stone was discovered. That is all they say. Is that how you identify artifacts?
Why were you laughing when you saw that tool?
Because it wasn't a tool.
You don't think that's a tool?
No.
What do you think that is?
I think it's natural again. That was...
Give me your best shot. All right.
I'm sorry, I'm interrupting you, but this image looks much less man-made.
Yeah, and that's just another image of the same thing.
But the other side of it is probably what we were looking at previously? Yeah, it is. Yeah, okay. But that looks man-made. So one side does and one side does not.
Ouch.
Okay. You'll block it every time.
Archaeological knowledge in order to spread false historical narratives that are overtly misogynistic, chauvinistic, racist, and anti-Semitic. I mean, you apply those labels to somebody and you're going to get that person hated.
Jeez.
For a long time, Atlantis was used as a colonial justification by the Crown of Spain for claiming land in the New World.
Are you saying your quote is incorrect?
I think that it's editing me out of context, Graham. I've never called you a white supremacist or a racist.
No, you've said that. Hang on, that's because you're very, if I may say so, very slippery in the way that you deal with, because you know perfectly well that saying that my work encourages white supremacism and encourages racism is going to end up with me being tarred as a racist.